What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Morning Brew podcast. I'm your host, Kayla, and I'm interviewing creatives every other week to bring you the authentic conversations behind their art. Before we get started, make sure that you're following the Morning Brew podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Instagram, and YouTube so that you don't miss any updates. You may recognize this week's guest from shows such as The Pitt, Breaking Bad, or The Mandalorian. I am super excited to welcome the incredibly talented actor Charles Baker to the show. Awesome. Well, I'm super excited to chat with you, but for the listeners, what's your name and where are you from?
Hi, I'm Charles Baker, and I am currently in Los Angeles, California.
So tell me a little bit about you. Who is Charlie?
Ooh, I'm still trying to figure that out myself, quite frankly. I'm a dad, I'm a husband, and I am a guest actor on several TV shows and films. I grew up traveling around the world as a military brat, and have only recently discovered what it's like to actually stay in one place for a while.
That's really cool. I want to tell you again how big a fan I am of your recent work on The Pit.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, first and foremost, I hear that Noah Wiley runs a phone-free set. I was wondering if you had a chance to read anything good while you were filming.
I did not do much reading while I was filming.
That's so fair.
I I, I was in the middle of reading Henry Winkler's autobiography when we started, and I'm still kind of judging through that. It's not that it's a hard read; it's just I finding time with kids and family and other obligations to just really get absorbed into a book is difficult for me. And that's one of the reasons why I don't read on set is because once I start reading, I'm like, no, don't bother me. I'm at a good. I found a good section here. Let's wait until I'm done with this paragraph. But yeah, that's it, it was a great. They had a great little library of books, and you would often see a lot of the background walking around carrying a book, and there was always a good conversation to be had around the books that were being tossed around. So
I feel like I would either get super distracted and be rereading the same paragraph but not absorbing anything, or I would do like what you said and just be completely immersed in the book and like nobody speak to me.
they're like we're rolling, and like, hey, you need to put your
Yeah.
book down. Like, oh, okay.
Give
Um,
me a minute.
Yeah, just give me a minute. And that would be the other thing is I would constantly be trying to hear what's going on and reading the same sentence over and over again and not really catching anything from it. So I try to be as present as possible when I'm on a set. And books really take me away from that. So
That's fair. That's fair. So for context, The Pit is filmed where each episode is 1 hour in like a 15-hour day at this hospital.
yeah.
Your character, Mr. Digby, is a homeless man who comes in as a patient and he makes a couple appearances throughout the season. I am so in awe of the makeup and special effects that went into this, and I would love to know what was the process for what I'm calling griming down? Like, how long were you in the makeup chair?
That varied depending on the level of visibility my character was going to have that day. If I was in the background of a scene and they knew they weren't coming on close-ups and hearing me do dialogue, they were a little bit less precise and a little less detailed about the makeup. You could just see, splotches on my face, and it was a light day. However, what was interesting about this show is it's shot sequentially. So like we shoot the first episode, we shoot the first scene of the first episode all the way through, with the exception of the fact that we only had like a day and a half, maybe 2 days to shoot exterior shots in Pittsburgh. And we had to shoot those exterior shots during the summers because it's set on, 4th of July. But we didn't shoot, episode 15, for instance, until December. Um,
Oh, okay.
and so obviously we couldn't shoot the scene where I'm the very end, my final scene where I'm pushing my cart in the park in front of the hospital with fireworks going off. We couldn't shoot that in December. We had to shoot that way earlier. And in that scene, I have a haircut. And so
Yeah.
what we had to do was, while everyone else was shooting episode 7, we shot just my scene of with me, Dana, and Emma getting my haircut while everyone else was shooting episode 7. And so I got a haircut and did that whole scene really early, even before the rest of episode 13 was written. We then flew to Pittsburgh and I shot 2 exterior scenes in Pittsburgh. One of them where I'm walking with my long hair and my beard in front of the hospital with my shopping cart as I'm about to enter, and Robbie is about to enter into the hospital. And then the other scene we shot the same day was me walking away from the hospital with no hair, with all my hair cut and shaved. And so what they had to do was they had to make a special wig and facial hair for me, so that we could shoot the long-haired version of me at the beginning in the very first scene that we shot. Again, in between episode 7 and 8 is when we all flew to Pittsburgh to shoot all of the exteriors for that. And so we shot just pieces of scenes in Pittsburgh. And again, my haircut had to be done for that scene. So from episode 8 until episode 12, I'm wearing a wig.
Oh.
And even in the beginning of episode 13, the first time you see me in episode 13, I'm actually wearing a wig and a goatee. But then when we come back to me, it's my actual hair and actual goatee that they do cut and shave off for that scene that we shot months prior. And
That's
so
crazy.
it was really crazy because half the time it was my actual hair, and then half the time it was a wig and a goatee. And for those episodes where you can actually where I have dialogue and I am wearing a wig, those it took about 2 hours in the makeup chair. Otherwise, anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes when it was my own hair. and and of course, the one day we did the shower scene, they had to cover more than just my face and arms with the dirt and makeup. So I had to have a full body, spray down so much to to get to get that particular shot. So it varied, but an hour and a half was about the average.
That's really cool to think about. And
Yeah.
you're like the fake cast that they cut open and
Mhm.
there's like maggots on your arm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that make your skin crawl? Because I think even if they were fake, I would be freaking out.
Yes, you have to disassociate a little bit to do this job sometimes, and that was one of those times where you just go, "Hey, this is." As one of my old acting teachers when I was doing theater said, "So you wanted to be an actor, huh?" Um,
You
so
asked for this.
this is the job you wanted, so here's what it comes with. And people don't think about a lot of that kind of stuff, that if you want to be an actor, there are times you're gonna have to um get naked and have maggots crawl all over you. And
Were they fake?
no, no, they were real.
No?
Yeah, yeah, we had they
Oh
had
my God, I thought they were fake.
they had live maggots. None of them were harmed. We were very careful. We had a maggot wrangler there whose job was to make sure that they were taken care of and fed, and they got their break time just like all the other union actors. So um, it was a fun job.
You know, that would make it even worse for me. I think that's terrifying. Like, when you're done shooting that scene, did you have to like double check like there's no stray maggots anywhere, like in your shoe or something?
Yes, yes, I did a little bit of a dance at the end to just shake them all off. But again, the maggot wrangler was there, and we actually kept track, and she actually kept count of how many were being used and
Oh,
how
that's
many
good.
we returned. And All of them made it back home safely.
Wow. Today I learned that maggot wrangler is a job.
We
So that's
we
sweet.
don't harm any living beings if we can help it. And if the scene, even I've done scenes where I've had to crush a bug. They would use a live bug crawling across the floor, but the bug that I crushed would not be a live bug. There's this. I mean, it would just be inhumane to kill a kill a living being for people's entertainment. Um,
Right. It's very gladiator.
yes, and there is no life too small for that consideration.
Definitely. Tell me a little bit more about the creative choices that you made in bringing depth to Digby's character.
I don't know that I made any choices. I kind of just let the role take over. He's schizophrenic and he's bipolar. What I did was I kind of let go of my own insecurities and kind of allowed myself to be a little more myself than I usually am in front of people, and allowed myself to feel insecure and unsure and um, as and grateful just to be where I was. One as an actor being on the Warner Brothers set, and then Digby just grateful to have a warm, comfortable place to sleep for a day, and food in my stomach, and those are universal feelings, and it didn't really take a lot. The writing was great. The other actors were amazing, and it just doesn't feel like work when you've got all the right circumstances.
Yeah, the shaving scene was like so touching to, hear his story and, he's worried about is my family gonna recognize me? That was
Yeah.
super sweet and
Yeah.
very, very nice.
Yeah, I loved, and first time I read it, that was actually the scene I auditioned with for the show. And the second I read it, I was like, oh, I really want to do this. This is just such a heartfelt, touching moment. And as a dad, I understand where he was coming from. And yeah, it was a beautiful moment, and I'm so proud to get to be able to have been able to do it.
In your opinion, do you think that Zigby gets to reunite with his family post episode 15?
I I don't know. We don't really talk about it too much, and I try not to think too hard about how that's gonna go. Um, I think it would be interesting to see, what his family dynamic is and why it is that his daughter's living in his house and while he's not, and not just because of his own desire to just live wherever he wants to live, but it could be that he's trying to protect her from his mental illness, or it could be that she rejected him, and he's you know has taken that on. I'm hoping the writers will clarify that for season three if I'm lucky enough to bring me back for season three,
Oh,
and
I
maybe we
wish.
get to hear some of it.
Honestly, yes. Noah, please. I, this is my official request.
Fingers crossed, always.
Oh, that would be great. Are you following any of the like discussions online about anything?
I try to as much as I can. There's a lot of them though, so it would depend on which
No.
ones you're talking
Yeah.
about.
I was wondering if you could give me your best Baby Jane Doe, the way that Catherine does
Oh,
it.
nobody can compete with Catherine. She does the
Oh, she
best
does it so
this
good.
baby Jane Doe, and Taylor Dearden did a pretty decent one. But I don't think I would give it any do it any favors. But it would probably be something like Baby Jane Doe.
He's doing good, taking formula well.
Doing good, taking formula well.
And you like so you mentioned Taylor, who plays Dr. Mel King, and you've worked in the past with her dad on Breaking Bad. What is
Yes.
that like, sort of, working with both of them? And they're obviously different individuals. Is it neat to kind of see them in their own environment?
Yes, it is. I met Taylor a long time ago while we were shooting Breaking Bad, once or twice, at uh, cast parties and premieres, and she was just a young lady then, and to see her growth, uh, and just, she's so really good. And for me, no, having stared at her dad for as long as I did working on Breaking Bad, uh, I can see a little bit of him in her face, and and I mean that in the best way possible. She has some of the same facial expressions. Her eyes sparkle in the same way, and she loves this business, and it's amazing. It's been amazing to watch, and yeah, I'm so fortunate to get to work with both of them because they're amazing actors.
That's really fun. My dad and I actually work at the same company right now, but different areas. And I think we have the same face. I definitely have his eyebrows. So I I can relate to that a little bit. Full disclosure, I've not yet seen Breaking Bad. However, it's my
Nor
grandpa's
mine.
favorite show. He's like the biggest fan. He went to go like visit is it like the set or something in Arizona or New Mexico or somewhere over there, and he like went to the shop and got the candy crystal meth and was having the time of his
Yes.
life.
Right
That's like
on.
his
Right
favorite
on.
thing. Is it true that Skinny Pete was supposed to only be in one episode?
Yes. Yes. I had like maybe four lines in one episode in the first season. Um, and because of circumstances, they had originally planned on killing off Aaron Paul's character, Jesse, in the first season. And when they realized how like powerful of an actor he was and how much he was resonating with the audience and how well he clicked with Brian, they decided to keep him as a regular character, and it became a business choice. Do we go through an entire process of auditioning new actors to establish friends and family for this guy, or do we just bring back some of the people we've already established as friends? And because I had been established as one of his friends, they went, well, let's bring this guy back. And so they brought me back, and I just tried to do everything I could to help them like want to keep bringing me back. I did the best I could, and tried not to waste their time, tried not to give them any reason to decide to kill me off, and just kept my fingers crossed that they would bring me back for more episodes, and they just kept bringing me back and bringing me back, and it was a, a great opportunity, and just really pure luck that it all happened that way. But I'm really glad it did.
I mean, at this point, you're fairly notorious for playing fan favorites, so I'm not sure if it's just luck at this point.
Well, I'm hoping that's what people will get from all this, but it's almost like winning the lottery twice in a row. Because just having shows like this, like Breaking Bad or The Pit, even get on the air is a very a rare thing. And then to be able to play a character, a lovable character in both of those shows, um, is yeah, amazing opportunity. I'd like to keep that ball rolling if you don't mind, Hollywood. Um,
Yeah.
Great shows, lovable character. That's all I'm asking for.
So a segment that I like to do on this podcast is I have my previous guest ask a question for the next guest, and it's like an ongoing chain.
Okay.
And so I just interviewed a band called Bell and Chain, and they would like to ask you, what is your favorite Paul McCartney song? Preferably his solo work, but it could also just be the Beatles.
Ooh, Golden Slumbers, I believe, is one of Paul's. It's one that I have four kids. It's a song that I've sung to all four of them while they were babies, rocking them to sleep. And that is, I think, up there. Let It Be is also another a great one of Paul's, but I think Golden Slumbers is going to have to be my number one.
That's a great answer. And you can ask anything for my next guest. If everything works out timing wise, my next guest is a singer from the UK.
Uh, who was your biggest music influence?
Okay, I like it. I also like to give a space for shameless self-promotion for all of my guests too. So, where can people like find you and connect with you and watch you in all these amazing shows?
Well, you can connect with me at Instagram. At the Charles Baker on Instagram. And I reply to messages. I try to reply to comments if I can keep up with the comments as they come through on the pictures. It gets a little heavy sometimes. You open it up and there's like 300 new comments, and that's but then it gets a little overwhelming, and you're like, which one do I respond to, and how do I respond? But yeah, Instagram is the social media platform of my of choice. I've got a movie that just recently came out called You Can't Win on Amazon Prime with Michael Pitt and me, and I actually Jeremy Allen White plays a small role in it. It was we shot that a while ago, so he was a bit younger than he is now. All of us were, but it's a really beautiful movie, and and it just recently, got distribution onto Amazon Prime. So that's a really great one to watch. And if we're still promoting stuff on YouTube on Omelette, there's a short film I'm in called The Last Fry with Mel Rodriguez, and it's funny, it's sad, it's beautifully shot, and it's a really good short film to pass some time by and really kind of get some perspective on other people's lives. And that's, I think, about all I had to promote right now.
Okay, send me the link for that and I'll put it in the description so everyone can find it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to figure that one out.
Oh, you can do it later. Yeah, no rush.
Right.
That's all for today's episode, guys. Thank you so much for listening. All of Charlie's socials and the link to his short film are going to be in the description below, so I hope you'll go check them out. Be sure to follow the Morning Brew podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Instagram so that you don't miss any updates because, guys, Charlie's coming back. Stay tuned for a big announcement coming soon. And be sure to tune into the next episode for a conversation with singer-songwriter Janet Devlin.